Hello, I've got artist block. I'm working on a draft for a mural that I was commissioned to paint for someone, and every draft, every sketch so far has been really frustrating. I hate all of them. It's always harder for me to create something I love when I'm creating for someone else and I haven't been like struck by the lightning bolt of inspiration. So I've been doing some things to help break the artist block, and I thought I'd share them with you because maybe it's helpful. The process is kind of fun. My process, anyway. I know everyone's creative process is a little different, so this is how I break through artist block. If you've seen Kiki's delivery service, they are talking about artist block.
Take a break.
Yeah, but still, if I can't fly...
Then stop trying. Take long walks, look at the scenery, doze off at noon. Don't even think about flying. And then, pretty soon, you'll be flying again.
So like Ursula said, you gotta get away from the thing that is plaguing you. In my case, the mural. I need to take some time away from it and kind of purge my brain of it so that I can come back fresh when I'm ready. And there's no exact time frame for this. I would say it's kind of subjective, but taking that time to do things you enjoy, partaking in activities that really have nothing to do with art, that kind of get your brain moving in other directions.
Is this the fake one? Oh, that's a real one. This is real. The fake one, that one.
All four of those?
I think so. Because they don't want to brood.
Oh my god, that is too funny!
There you go.
Good job!
Good job.
Let's sit over there!
Being creative in other ways that are low risk. Like for me, I can always jump into an embroidery project pretty easily. I have a pile of sweaters that have either been shrunken or deformed in some way, and I enjoy making bonnets out of those materials. And I would say taking an activity and doing it outside as opposed to inside gives it a fresh perspective. You get the sunlight, you get surrounded by the natural world, and you get to be inspired by nature itself. Number 2 is to ingest media or art that inspires you. My go-to is gonna always probably be a Studio Ghibli film, even if I'm not actively trying to get inspired. The hand-painted nature of the films is just so gripping, and you can see the love and care that went into the films and the themes. They're just so good. Growing up, we had the BBC Beatrix Potter movies where it was her stories that were animated, and the intro was Beatrix Potter herself out in, like, you know, the English countryside with her plein air easel and just painting a landscape, painting the animals. And that sequence was so beautiful. It really inspired me because it showed her going out and using the resources around her to gain the skills to create the masterpiece books that she was watercoloring. She was going out, getting those real images into her head so that she could paint a squirrel or a bunny in any position, doing any activity. And because she had put the work in, the outcome was incredible. A creator that recently really inspired me is Wisdom K with his solar system styling, and he has the reel that shows the styling and shows each planet. And then he has a long form video that breaks down and shows how he kind of worked through the process of styling each thing, where he got things, where he sourced. And watching that, I was like, wow, this is art. It was really cool to see an artistic process with the medium of clothing. And the big one, of course, for ingesting art is going to a museum. Hopefully you can find some free or cheap ones in your area. There's nothing that beats getting up close to the original art piece. When you can really get up in there and you can look at the brush strokes, you can see the movement of the paintbrush, you can see the colors that they chose, you can see how things are spread out, you can see the texture, and you can see the true color. Nothing really beats this. When you see things online, it's really awesome because you can look up anything and just like pull up any art piece ever, which is great. But when you get to see it in person, like walk around it, it's really cool. Seeing how the light hits it, it kind of brings you into the artist's mind a little more than seeing a digital scan. Plus, as you're walking through, you'll see things that you wouldn't have known to look up. Something being featured that links to another type of art form that you hadn't explored before. Number 3 is going back to the basics. In the last example of going to a museum, as you walk through, the big 3 that you'll see are portraits, still lifes, and landscapes. And the basics to me are still lifes and portraits because they're the most accessible for you to create. Because for a portrait, all you need is a mirror. And for a still life, all you need is a pile of junk. And pretty much everybody has those things. Still lifes don't have to be this beautiful floral, like intricate arrangement. It can just be, you know, a couple items. The first oil painting I ever did was of a candlestick and an egg, and it's hanging downstairs. I've had a good amount of weddings that I've worked recently where I've taken flowers home. So in my last video, you saw me make a still life, and after a few days, some of those flowers were starting to struggle. So I just like took all the ones that were still had a little life in them, plopped them into a vase, and then I painted that as my still life. I used to do quite a lot of portraits in my free time, but I stopped, and I don't really know why I stopped. Maybe I just didn't enjoy it as much anymore. But when you're trying to get your creative juices flowing, I feel like a self-portrait is a really great way to do that, especially in like interesting lighting, because then you can play around with the shadows and the highlights. When doing an exercise like this, I just have to remind myself over and over again, this isn't creating a finished art piece. This is reactivating my creative flow. This is an exercise to help me get better as an artist. This does not have to be a finished portrait. Nobody even has to see this if I don't want them to. So to get in that headspace and to make it feel lower risk, I decided to use kind of like weird colors, and that way I didn't have the pressure on me to make it look as realistic as possible, to make it look as much like me as possible. I was kind of going a little bit loosey-goosey with it, just to really loosen myself up. So I used blue and some yellow. And since I'm painting with gouache, it's really workable. Once you put it down, if you add water, you can pick it back up again. So you can rework areas over and over, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes I tend to overwork an area that I could have just moved on from, and the painting would have looked better. But again, this is not about making a good looking painting. This is about the action of it, the exercise of it. For me, a part of going back to the basics is thinking about what got me into art in the first place. When I was like a young teenager, one style that helped me get excited about art and helped me technically was manga and anime. Hayao Miyazaki films, Sailor Moon, Naruto, Fruits Basket. These were things I was ingesting a lot of, and I was really inspired by them and the artwork and the way people were drawn, the way clothes were drawn, expressions, all of these things I really wanted to emulate. So I would get all those like draw manga yourself books. I would have pages of just like anime eyes. I wanted to tap back into that feeling. For me, there's definitely a lot of joy in copying something because I know it'll turn out good. Because I'm gonna draw exactly what I'm seeing. In undergrad, in like painting 2 or something, we had to paint a replica of a classic painting. I think it was the Impressionists, but you had to copy it exactly. So copying was encouraged because even though you're recreating something that already exists, there's value in recreating something that is done technically well and has the vision of the artist. It has colors, strokes, texture that you yourself maybe wouldn't think to do. So by copying them, you learn how to do them, and then you can see if you like to do things that way or not, which is pretty cool. Alright, that's all for today's video. Hopefully this was helpful or interesting. Now I need to actually create my draft proposal for this mural. Sometimes I end up relying on the panic that comes from procrastination instead of true inspiration, but we can't always be inspired all the time, can we? I am the queen of procrastination, and I'm pretty good at it. Like my past, I think, 2 or 3 videos I have filmed the day before, edited into the night, and then edited a little in the morning and then posted. And this one, I am filming this the day I am posting it. It is a Wednesday, so it is the day I am posting this video. It's April Fool's Day. Wow. I don't do it on purpose, it's just what happens. Obviously it's not ideal. My goal is to have things filmed like 2 weeks before I'm posting it. But here we are. So go do something that inspires you today and get creative. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The life of Rosalind is the life for